Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video we'll take a look at how 5 aircraft managed to crash not only on the same day but within a few minutes of each other. In 1940, Carlisle Lake District Airport was known as RAF Kingstown, and it was the home of No. 15 Elementary Flying Training School. Now, would-be pilots in the RAF would start the training with 8 weeks of basic training, and then they'd move on to an EFTS, an Elementary Flight Training School, where they would practice on aircraft such as Tiger Moths and Miles Magisters. At this school they'd get up to the stage of doing the first solo. Now, after doing this training at the Elementary Flying Training School, they'd move on to a Service Flying Training School where they'd take on more substantial aircraft, more advanced aircraft, where they'd learn how to fly. And after doing a couple of more months at this Service Flying Training School, they would gain the wings. And once they'd gained the wings, they would move on to an Operational Training Unit, an OTU, where they would be prepared for first line service. The 5 aircraft involved in the accident were called Miles Magisters. Funny looking little aircraft. I suppose the mothers must have loved them. You don't see many of these about nowadays, so let's just take a minute and watch it in flight. On the morning of the 20th of October 1940, 5 student pilots were instructed to take off in formation. Now, what happened next is unbelievable. The first aircraft started its takeoff roll and during its takeoff roll it hit a pile of stones at the end of the runway and climbed up slightly and hit a fence and came to rest on the road outside the airfield. The second aircraft managed to get airborne, but then hit two fences and came to rest in a field. Number 3 stopped just short of the fence but veered off into a tent that people were sleeping in, and it killed 3 of the people in that tent. The fourth one started its climb out but then stalled and hit a hangar. And the fifth one climbed out but then stalled and ran into a bungalow, leaving the engine of the aircraft on the homeowner's bed. All the aircrew were okay, but 3 of the people in the tent were killed. So, what was the cause of the accident? Contaminated fuel? Certainly a possibility. It would seem likely with all 5 of the aircraft coming down. Pilot inexperience on the part of the student pilot? You couldn't really get 5 of them that bad. No, the odds against that are one of them would be able to fly it. No, the cause of the accident was what's called hoarfrost, and it's frost. It's a slight build-up of frost on the wings of the aircraft. So what happens when frost builds up on the wings of an aircraft is it reduces the wing's ability to produce lift. This is because the air doesn't flow smoothly across it, and it also increases the drag of the aircraft. That's why you see aircraft being de-iced in the big airports. It creates such a problem for aviation.